I'm bringing them.
Dukey Treats.
Sweet ones. Big ones.
Treats.
Big ones. Old fashioned, baby. Big ones.
Dukey Treats.
You know, it's about time for me to do some funk. I mean, some real funk. Not the kind of funk that you're hearing nowadays on the radio, but that original kind of gritty, dirty kind of funk, but funny as well. And so I kind of backed off it a little bit in terms of the entire concept of the album and began to incorporate more of all of the kind of old school music that was going on in the 60s and the 70s. And I sort of backed up from that idea and decided that I wanted to do sort of a tribute to old school in general. And I included vibes from Sly and the Family Stone, Parliament Funkadelic, Earth, Wind and Fire, Marvin Gaye, all seen through my vision and what I've kind of learned over the years. And so that's what makes it a little different, but it's got all the sensibilities of what happened in the 60s and 70s in music. I was on a plane going to Australia, and I had this idea about, you know, doing something where I talk in this low voice, you know, electronically bring it down.
This is a funk tale, a history of the intergalactic funk expeditions.
Hey!
Which is kind of like what George Clinton used to do on some of those tracks. But I put some other sounds and spaceship sounds and stuff like that in it, talking about the intergalactic funk expeditions of these astronauts that came from another nebula, another area of space and the galaxy, and came through wormholes and wound up on Earth and wed with woman, and a child was born, and all of that. Ooh, named Ooh, by the way.
In the night when your girlfriend's asleep.
Creeping is downright silly. Creeping is kind of a hilarious look or light-hearted look at creeping around on your mate. And it pits the men against the women. Now, creeping, you might remember, is actually on my first album on my own label. And this is a remix of that. I call it the Creepin' Ghoulie mix because it has Vincent Price in the front, and it has all of these what do you call, what are those things, coyotes and wolves and stuff in there. And so I kind of made you got the old band back together with Ndugu and I think Howard Hewitt singing in there. And on this track are some incredible musicians. You know, Christian McBride is playing bass. We have Little John Roberts playing drums, and Jeff Lee Johnson once again on guitar, along with me playing a lot of my synth stuff in there, and then the band just acting crazy. Laurie Perry, Josie James is in there, and it's really an interesting look at creeping. Deep within the night when your girlfriend's asleep, that's when you creep. It's almost like a Frank Zappa line, you know. It's kind of what it reminds you of, but it is funky as an old toenail. That's good. It's funky as an old toenail. Check that out. Sudan was probably the second or third song I wrote for the record. I wanted to kind of bring to light the situation that's going on in Darfur. And I said, man, has anybody written a song about this? you know, that's what I do. I'm a songwriter, I'm, you know, a musician. So I decided to do this, but I didn't want to do it by myself in terms of singing it. I needed some help. I needed some co-signers. So I enlisted the help of Tina Marie. I enlisted the help of Jonathan Butler. And Jonathan's African, so he has another kind of connection to that whole situation. And it starts off with a news report, just like a stock news report, like you'd hear on the BBC.
4 years after the conflicts began in Darfur, the number of displaced people in camps like this one continues to grow.
Violence and hardship are an almost daily ritual for the people of Darfur. Hundreds of thousands.
I got some folks with some English accents. Josie James' husband, Nigel Martinez, helped me out on that. And actually, Al Jarreau's manager, Fiona Frawley, were the foreign correspondents. And they came in and did this thing. They could go to work tomorrow in the BBC, tell you. But I wanted to kind of bring that kind of realism to this tune and then go into the music, which is almost, it has a little bit of a rock kind of feel to it. I get a chance to play my Dukey stick again, you know, some synthesizer kind of grunt sound. And Jonathan Butler and Tina Marie are absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible on the song.
So much pain.